gentlemen, welcome as we get started here, as we start to see the cars start rolling off. I'm your host, Axia. It is truly an honor to have you all here as we're watching the cars get away here. And this is round number 4 at the Misano racetrack here at GT Meister Racing. Definitely keep an eye on some of the drivers. You see York and Farmer coming out. Farmer getting hit with a big penalty from last race at the Nürburgring. We will be keeping an eye on him to see how well he, Farmer here, see how well he makes a comeback and see whether or not he's able to make something happen here. That's definitely going to be an interesting one here. As we take a look, let's see here. And there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get going here, let you guys see all the names here as we start rolling around and taking care of business. Sorry about that. And let's get going here as we see Farmer making his way. Welcome to the views. Ember 11, welcome. Thank you for the follow. How are you doing? Hopefully you are having a wonderful day on this Friday as we get going. Is there a driver that you would like to see here as we see some of the drivers making their way around the track? Let's keep an eye and see who we got going around. Number 93, Farmer, is out. He will be starting his qualifying lap here in the Ferrari. He's been looking super racy since he's joined GT Meister Racing. The question is whether or not he will be able to put the car on pole and take the lead. We saw Aiden Hasbrock, or aka Little Taquito, here in the chat of the Twitch channel. He said he was looking super racy and super confident. As we see Farmer into turn 1, looking nice and rocking, super nice out of the throttle there. Definitely looking really good. Nice acceleration, nice curve. Coming out, utilizing all the curves, staying away from the yellow and black rumble strip, who catches the dirt a little bit. So let's see, 73 is out on a lap. Looks like they invalidate. That's Stefan Buckley, who's just sitting ahead of Chrysler York in that McLaren. Followed by number 6, Casey Bennett. You're here for that Farmer. Mr. Ember followed for that Farmer. Definitely have to see how Farmer performs here. Looking nice and racy. Ride along board on the inboard and see how he does. Nice turn into that corner. Coming out of that final corner. He's looking racy. What's the provisional pole? Ooh, a 35.6. Let's see what Chrysler York's got. Comes across the line. 1.3 off the pace. Casey Bennett slots himself 0.6 off the pace. Let's see. Brian Douglas brings he's 1.9 off the pace in that Bentley. Let's see what else we've got here. Else we have rolling number 603, Tim Wilkins in the Honda. Let's see where Aiden Hasbrock drops it with a 34.3 in a commanding performance in the McLaren. Wilkins did not set a valid time. He's not going to be able, he's going to have to move up. Andrew Jaschke, 1.6 off the pace of Aiden Hasbrock, 0.4 off the pace of Farmer. Wow, what an interesting lap here as we start to see things develop. Let's see, he's 2.6. Ricky Scott slotted himself P5. Andrew Jaschke, okay, he's still sitting P3. James Parks now P8. Let's take a little, let's see where Artem is, our race winner of last week at Nürburgring. Let's see what happens as he goes through on the corner, and he's going to be in the final sector as he makes his way through. Scott looked like he set a valid time. So he's going to be falling back a little bit, but now we've got number 84. That's Ricky Scott. He's going to be coming across with York sitting on the main straight. That's definitely not really good to do to kind of get in the way. Now Casey Bennett has out-qualified Josh York sitting for Casey third. Let's see as we go down. We got Farmer second, Casey third, York fourth, Chastity fifth, Ricky Scott sixth. But in that Audi slots himself P7. Let's take a look as we go through. See what Andrew Cooper, where is he sitting? He's about to cross the line. What does this put him? Does not look like he put a valid lap in. So he's going to have to figure something out. Our tip still, he's 3/10 up on his pace coming out of sector 2 into sector 3. He's on a flyer coming through here in this Audi. Can the previous race winner put the car higher up on pole position than Aiden Hasbrock has set with that 134 flat? He is just pushing it to the metal. He wants to set a precedent position of himself in this race. Here he comes, 7/10 up on his time as he makes it around the last corner. Onto the main straight. What can the Audi driver do? Slots himself P2, 8/10 off the pace. He's telling Aiden he's taking the fight to him and he's not scared. We have 13 minutes left to play. We see how this all plays out. Let's keep an eye on this. Let's see Kevin Tarrant. He's looking mighty strong in that Porsche. The question is, can he jump? A few people as we see Jamie Morrison in P7. Tim Wilkins still in that P20 spot. Tom Cassidy in that Honda, sitting P12, Alan Zhu P11. Azarif Azmi, our driver from Malaysia, he is sitting out there in P14. He's doing an amazing job as well. Carbonado is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize, Carbonado, I wasn't paying attention. Looks like we have a fan favorite groups. We have Ember for Farmer, Carbonado for Casey. Now we're just waiting on that group for, as we see Kevin Tron's going to 15. Now we're just waiting on that group that is going to be rooting on for Ricky Scott. And now we'll have the trifecta of everybody. Now let's just jump down. It's Alejandro Martinez. He's 3/10 up. He's going into sector turn 1 and 2 as he's making his way through. Definitely keep an eye on him as he's going through. He's got Bruce Hopkins right behind him in that McLaren, but Alejandro is trying to make something happen in that Ferrari. Definitely hasn't had a strong performances in the last few races. York catches that curve in the back. He's definitely not looking super racy as we now have a yellow sector. That's number 84. In the back, that's Ricky Scott as they're starting to work their way through here. What can Alejandro do? He's sitting P17, but we're waiting to see if Andrew Cooper is off 1.2 seconds off his pace. But he keeps invalidating. Louis keeps invalidating. Tim Wilkins keeps invalidating. And Jamie Morrison is still sitting in the pits. Question is, why doesn't seem like Jamie Morrison really wants to try and push himself a little bit further as we go through the race. Here comes through the Ferrari through sector 3. He's still on a positive lap as he's coming around the bends. And that blue and orange Ferrari. And around the final corner, does he improve? Looks like he's going to. Let's see what he does. 0.032 off. Cross the line, does not improve. What a shame right there. We go through, let's see, Andrew Cooper. He's still in sector 1. He's got Casey Bennett sitting behind him. As we see, Farmer's now sitting P3, Andrew Jaschke P4, Casey Bennett P5, York 6, Ricky Scott 7. The McLaren trio of 6, 7, and 8 of Ricky Scott, York, and Hopkins definitely looking super strong. Well, they're hoping that Parks jumps up there from that P11 spot to P9. That'll definitely help them out in that balance. try to take the fight for the front runners, possibly get a top 5 with all McLaren. See, Andrew Cooper going to set a time here, sir. And there we go. Carbonado says, I have decided I'll probably join next season if I get good enough. Doesn't matter what you think you can, just all you have to do is believe you can, sir. And we can help you go. And there's Big B Gamer. Let's go, Ricky Scott in the chat. Now we have the Ricky Scott fan club in here, and this is awesome. Now we have the trifecta of Carbonado, Big One B Gaming, and Ember here battling it out. And who is the bigger fans in this race? As we see Andrew Cooper in that McLaren slide himself P4 ahead of James Park, who is 3.8 seconds off the pace of Andrew Jash of Aiden Hasbrock, I apologize, and he's gone even faster with a 33.7, showcasing his dominant performance here at Misano. As we see Louis in the BMW, usually a top 10 driver, cannot set a lap to save his life here at Misano. As we see 21 drivers trying to battle it out for points and for position. As he's coming through into sector 2 on the tail end, he's going to come up to this hairpin piece before he hits the main straight, which we're going to ride along board with him. Let's see what he can do as we jump in along. Catching the brakes late, coming that in deep. Nice deep braking it around the bend. Here we go. There we go. This is red and yellow BMW coming out of the corners. He is stretching the track as far as he can. Tykesman jumps into the chat and Louis loses it. Slides down the main straight, hits the wall. He's going to have to retire and jump into the pits. And come back up. Tykesman coming out saying Phantom is washed. He is partially washed, Phantom. What a shame there to see Louis out. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, your leader, Aiden Hasbrock, P1. But this is the guy we're hoping is going to reel in Aiden Hasbrock, is Matt Artem, as he showcased massive amounts of strong performance in that P2 Audi. Andrew Jaski slotted himself P3. He's about a 10th off the pass of Artem, with Farmer sitting P4, Casey Bennett P5, Chrysler York 6, Ricky Scott 7, Bruce Hopkins 8, Ryan Douglas 9th in that Bentley, being able to reel everybody in as Andrew Cooper 10th. Tom Cassiani bumps up the Honda to 10th, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Cassiani finding an amazing pace, but here comes Artem onto the main straight. What can he do with that Audi as he pushes it massively down the front straight? Boom, P2 still, but does not look like he improves. But now we got Brian Douglas. He's up 2/10 in that Bentley, coming around sector 2 up to this hairpin piece. For those that do not know, the Bentley is amazing on the curves. You can almost abuse curves with the Bentley. So it'll be interesting to see where he sits himself in this race. Tykesman, we miss you, good sir. We definitely need you back. I understand your work schedule for this. And don't know, Tykesman has been part of GT Meister Racing since its early stages when it wasn't GT Meister Racing, when we were part of the BRL crew. So definitely be hoping to see Tykesman back and racing with us. Yeah, he definitely would be sitting super strong here in the race, especially with that Lexus. He was super fast with that Lexus. As we see Brian Douglas, he's sitting P9. He's trying to improve, which is 2/10 up on his paces. He's coming through here through sector 3 onto the final turn and onto the main straight, looking super clean. Ooh, catching a little bit of the yellow bumps, but he gets out and accelerates 4/10 up. Where's that going to slot in P7? Splitting the McLarens. Yeah, there you go. And let's take a look. Peter David from Canada in the Montreal area with 5 minutes left to go. He was 5/10 up on his time, but can he hold it through? He's sitting P17. 5/10 up, that's going to slot him into that top 15 for those points. as he goes through. As you can see, we have 4 minutes and 46 seconds left to place. Andrew Cooper in front of him, trying to chase him down. And he's had things have changed. Oh, shame. I apologize. That was pretty good. Tykesman says you don't want to wash a racer like me in this league. Tykesman, you're never washed. The only washed racer is me. Now that I'm all I do is commentate. Tyke, as we see Peter David, he's coming through that sector 3 onto the back for the last corner in that Aston Martin. Beautiful bend, catches a little bit of the curb. He runs as much as he can, all out wide. What does he do as he's about to cross the line? Is he going to improve? He does not, so now he's going to allow Andrew Cooper through for turn 1. Question is, where is Louis? Louis still has yet to set a time, and he is still trying to get a flyer. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to follow along board with him to see if he can't string something together here for us as he comes through. Here goes Louis in sector 3 into this fast right-hander, catching the curves. Doesn't go super wide here. The final corners where he needs to reel this all in as he comes through. And catches a little bit of curves. Down to the final corner. Ooh, he goes super wide. Does that invalidate him? Does it still give him a chance to get something on the board? And it doesn't. Oh, he must be infuriating because that's a 136.5, ladies and gentlemen. A 136.5 would slot him into... Oh, that would put him right by Andrew Cooper in the top, near the top 10. Oh, what a shame there. Maybe he'll be able to make something happen on this lap, but right now, let's see if anybody else is improving here in this race. And we do, Matt Artem, 2/10 up, the P2 driver. Can he keep that going as he's going through? And then we got little Taquito in the chat going, yeehaw, the #1 pole position driver here in this. Tykesman says, you ain't washed. You are still better than Blitz, and he is most definitely the most washed of us all, and that is very true. Hopefully next season we can actually, I'm going to ask the Simford guys if there's a way that they can build the teams to have team selections to where drivers can actually be in solo cars, but actually have like a team championship. I'm going to talk with them and see if we can do that, and if we can, that would be amazing. But it looks like we got Casey Bennett for Carbonado. Casey Bennett, he's up on his time about a 10th. But we're still keeping an eye on Louis to see if he'll actually set a time. Because we got Louis 33, he's coming through. He has invalidated his time. Looks like he's blue. He's invalidated his time again. As the 84 still over the pits. 33, we got 1 minute 40 seconds left to play. So 33 is definitely going to have to make it happen. Go through Casey Bennett on this back sector. We're going to ride along board with Louis. He's the only driver that we have yet to see a time, and he has yet to set a time. Yeah, same thing. Has yet to set a time. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. As he's coming into sector 1, we're going to ride along board on the helmet cam to show you a lap around Misano. Sector 3. Was that too much? Was that too much? Did he invalidate coming into the final quarter? Louis trying to hold it in and trying to reel it in. Doesn't look like he goes super wide, but did he set a time? He did not set a time. That means Louis is going to start P20. Oh, what a shame. What a shame there. But now we still also have faster drivers on the track. Let's take a look. We've got number 93. Where are you? Mr. Farmer coming around the bend, P4. Farmer around the final corner. What can he do? We also have Peter David on a fast lap. He's about to come through the final last part of a few turns. Farmer does not improve. Not a Peter David. What is Peter David going to do? It says he's up a 10th. A little wiggly out of the final turn. Nothing. Asby coming through. Oh, he goes super wide. He loses it. Commentator Kirks catches the curbs. Super Milk Nasty says, "What's up, girl? Hey, what's up with you, princess?" 6, let's go. Yes, Ricky Scott up into P6. Harnessed the inner McLaren heritage. Decided to finally show up and put in a fast lap. What an amazing fast lap, to say the least there, I have to say. As we wait for the final drivers to come into the pits and we start to sit there and wait for the drivers to line up on the grid, ladies and gentlemen, and big one came. He says, "Nice, Rick." Little Taquito says, "Damn, Louis, not one valid lap." I know, not one valid lap. What a shame there. I totally thought he was going to get one. Thought he was going to do one of those last lap, P10 kind of things. Nope. As we go through, we're going to jump into the pole sitter here. We're going to jump into the hell of a thing. We're going to switch this over. And we're going to do our little grid walk, ladies and gentlemen, as we drive through the cars. There you go, pole sitter. Aiden Hasbrock in that Cell Cup McLaren with Matt Arton, P2. Andrew Jassky slotting in that P3 in that BMW. Mr. Farmer for Ember slotting himself P4. Casey Bennett, Carbonado's there, dropping it into P5. Happy Father's Day to Mr. Casey Bennett and all the other fathers that are out there as this weekend approaches. Ricky Scott and his fan club super happy with the P6. But the question is, can he hold that P6 and better? That's definitely a question. As we see Chrysler York P7 in that other McLaren. Brian Douglas, a McLaren driver, now secretly a Bentley driver, dropping himself into that P8 with Bruce Hopkins. Good man we have here, sitting in that P9 with Tom Castellani, was another McLaren driver, also switched over to the Honda world. So both of these drivers, McLaren drivers, just kind of disguising themselves in that top 6 through 11 with Andrew Cooper, Sim Lounge CEO, sitting there in that P11 with the esports racer with the Hungarian style design. Sorry, not Hungary, the Ukrainian style designed Audi, as we see Cole Bennett joining in late before the race even starts, so he's going to be starting last. That'll be interesting to see how he performs there, as well as we start to see, let's see, James Sparks. Beautiful showing here at Misano, slots himself P13 with Alan Zhu. He'll be leading the team Porsche, as I like to call it, in the P14 with Asby sitting there P15 looking super strong on the outside in. Kevin Tarrant showcasing himself P16, has missed out a couple of weeks, with Peter David bringing himself into P17. Alejandro Martinez reeling himself into 18. Jamie Morrison did not set a lap time, put himself 19th. Louis bringing himself, could not reel in anything to put himself in that top 10 on the times that we've seen. Into P20, Tim Wilkins, 21. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Cole Bennett in the Audi. He was not able to make it in, and looks like he backed out due to his connection. What a shame there, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on everybody else as we get going here. Any shout outs to anybody? I know we're going to get Farmer. We're going to get Cole, Casey. We're going to get Ricky Scott. Also, huge shout out to Super Milk Nasty, Lou Better, Happy Zadady, to Richard. Yes, happy Father's Day to Mr. Ricky Scott. Little Taquito, or aka Aiden Hasbrock, in the chat. McLaren for the win, especially around here. To definitely see if the McLaren drivers are able to pull in a top top 3 finish here. That would be an interesting first time I'd ever see that. As Ember, T-Farm. Yes, T-Farm, number 4. The Ferrari driver. Can he keep up the pace? Looks strong. Had a little bit of a few issues, fell back, and kind of almost lost himself through the whole entire race. So that one's he's definitely a driver that we're going to see. This is definitely going to be a redemption race for him to see how the performance and everything and the pace is going. Huge shout out to all the viewers that are watching. Thank you for watching and being a part of GT Meister Racing. If there's anything I can do to make your guys' view better and have a lot of fun, let me know in the chat. Let me know, do I need to turn up the game volume by chance so you guys can hear the races going stronger? Let me know, or do I need to turn myself down? Let me know at all by chance. As we get close to here at the start of the lap, because these drivers are on their formation lap. Let's see who we have here overall. We'll pull up the championship fight so far to give you an idea of point standings here in the standings, as we have Aiden Hasbrock leading the championship with 69 points. Andrew Jaschke sitting there with 56. Matt Artem with 52. Meister York with 36. Andrew Cooper P5 in the championship standings with 31. He is tied with Casey Bennett at 31. Mr. Taylor P7 in the overall championship series with 20. AJ Silva could not make it this race. He has 19. Stefan Buckley, 1 point behind him. He's here. He's got 18 points, so if he has a good showing, he could slide himself further up in this championship fight. Louis is in the top 10 with 17. As we start to see these drivers make their way around the track, we're going to dip out as now these drivers are going to start to go side by side here at Misano. As we get rolling, we have 21 drivers, a 1 hour race, and it looks like it's going to get wet within 5 minutes, everybody. The question is who's going to keep pushing those dry tires around? If you can look at the graph in the top right, you see a little bit of rain, and then it goes cloudy. So within the first 5, it's going to start sprinkling. Here the drivers go through Misano. We got dark clouds, and it's 10 a.m. in the morning. Here they come around the bend here as they start to line themselves up. Final corner approaches, the rain approaches. Oh, here we go. Switch over to Heliecam as these drivers start to line themselves up. Let's go racing, boys and girls. Here they come down into turn 1. Aiden Hasbrock, he's going to cover the inside. He breaks super early. Oh, Andrew Jaschke covering it down on the inside. Side by side they go. The drivers. Looks like Farmer gets away. Ricky Scott and Casey Bennett and Farmer are all sitting there. Atrim going super wide. Farmer having to check up right behind Atrim as these two drivers. The McLaren drivers are Ricky Scott, Chrysler York side by side. Chrysler York definitely charging through the grid as we go here. We're going to slide back down the grid as we see beautiful piling as we go through side by side. The two Porsche drivers of Aspen and Alan Sue battling it out. They're neck and neck. Here they go. Alan Sue trying the inside. Aspen covering the outside. Looks like Alan Sue makes it through. We got the Honda of Tim Wilkins definitely getting past Alejandro Martinez as they battle it out. We're going to slot right back up to the front of the grid here as we see nice single file of the drivers. Aiden Hasbrock has separated himself to 1.3 seconds. Farmer has fallen back, but he's definitely trying to work his way back up the grid. The question is, how much is the rain going to affect these drivers as they make their way through Misano, through the single file of this race? Farmer looking super strong with Casey Bennett in tow right behind him. The question is, now Artem is taking the battle to Andrew Jaschke in this overall fight. But now we also have Ricky Scott back here in this P7, battling out with Chrysler York. He's got Brian Douglas, Chrysler York. Bruce Hopkins set the fastest lap of the race. Alan Sue now sets the fastest lap of the race so far. As we come through, we don't see any rain in this race so far right now, but it says 5 minutes from now. As they come through, the question is who is going to gamble. Tim Wilkins sets the fast lap. He's looking super strong with Louis following behind him as we go through. Let's take a look outside and get Brian Douglas. Brian Douglas is going to cover the inside. Here comes Andrew Cooper in that McLaren right behind them as they go through the bend. Oh, here comes the switchback. The two McLaren drivers. 3 wide as we battle down in the corner. Douglas gets the drive. Cooper backs out. As we see Hopkins, he is trying to control his car as much as he can. Comes through that bend. As now the drivers are starting to file themselves in even more. We're going to slot right back up here too. Mr. Artem is now, he's all over the back end. This is a battle for P2 with P3, P4 right behind him as the Audi is looking super strong. We just see Farmer do the super late brake dive down into the bend as they go. Ricky Scott, P7, let's go from Dank Roma. I haven't seen you in a whole while in the chat. Welcome to joining us, Mr. Dank Roma. As we see Matt Artem, and the rain is here, ladies and gentlemen. The rain is here. It came down. Oh, down into the turn. The drivers. We got 5 minutes of this, and the track is going to get wet. It's going to get slippery, and then it's going to dry out as the drivers are coming through the bend. Farmer now is going to make an attack on Artem as he's covering the brakes, trying to make something happen and around the corner. He's going to try something new on the inside. The question is he going to? He's going to have to play it safe and play it easy when he comes through this bend as they go through. The drivers are trying to find something to make it happen. Their braking marks are going to be super late compared to what they're normally. But now there's going to be a little bit of a separation as we start to see. It looks like Meister York is holding up a back group as number 42. Brian Douglas spins. He's going to allow everybody through as he's going to get going. That's going to be an interesting one as we see Bruce Hopkins up in the front. So a lot of these drivers are on slick tires trying to stretch everything out here as we go through in this race. Wow, what an amazing battle we have with the rain development. So the track is going to become super greasy, but now everybody's going to have to work their way back through. Ladies and gentlemen, as we go through, now we got Ricky Scott, he's P7, he's got Chrysler York in front of him, he's getting a little slippery side here with the rain coming in. As we now see Andrew Cooper, now, like I said before, the drivers are going to have to balance themselves out and react differently as the race develops here and as they come through. Let's see what happens here as Ricky Scott, he's going to cover the inside, now he's going to race his normal line as Andrew Cooper. We still have Farmer for that P3 spot. He's all over the back of that Audi. He's hoping that once the rain goes away, he can actually make a move on these drivers. As he's looking on the inside, checks out as the Audi covers the inside as they make the bend around the corners. As we jump back down, Andrew Cooper is now all over the bend. If their Chrysler York loses it. So that's now going to allow the Cooper. So there's a battle for 3 positions of the McLaren. As Ricky Scott now jumps Chrysler York. Andrew Cooper's all over the back end of Chrysler York. And here goes back. There's Tom Castellani in that Honda that goes super wide. Andrew Cooper trying to make something happen. Chrysler York covers the line, forces him to act a little bit differently. Down on the inside, Cooper goes on Chrysler York. Everybody locking up the brakes. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, if I had a co-commentator, this would be even better. Thank you for all 14 years. Here comes Andrew Cooper on the inside. Chrysler York. Ooh. Andrew Cooper trying to make something happen as we get on the drag race of these two drivers. We're going to switch over to the helmet cam of Andrew Cooper as we see what he is seeing as he's coming through on the back end of that McLaren. Oh, there goes Tom Castellani on the super late break. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, my God. Andrew Cooper almost died from Tom Castellani's move as Farmer has pitted the first driver to pit, which is very interesting as we now see Andrew Cooper making his way. Question is, why did Farmer pit? That is definitely going to be an interesting one. Is he thinking that he has to go to the wet tires based on performance? Let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen. Does not look like he has damage. Oh, maybe he did switch over to tires. That's going to be an interesting one. But now Ricky Scott up to P5 for their Group Big One game. He says, has a rumor that Dave Roma quit racing to start an OnlyFans account and is making millions from being picked. Well, hey, why don't you shoot us a donation, Mr. Meatpicks, and help us out as Tom Castellani in that Honda, trying to make something happen with, looks like he's got the pace and performance in that Honda, and now the track's gone damp. Looks like Farmer has lost it out. Looks like he possibly pit for wet compound tires, and now that's going to shoot him out and ruin his race. But so it's going to drop him down to P21. He's going to have to work his way back up as he's now coming down the pit lane to make something happen. Oh, what a shame there as we see the Honda making his way and is trying to attack the McLaren of Chrysler York. This Honda's got some pace and performance. He's going to look on the inside of, nope, doesn't, checks it out, comes down the back straight. Is he going to outbrake himself again? He doesn't. The track is damp. You see the front end get a little squirrely on him when he starts getting into that brake zone. As he comes through, Tom Castellani looking super strong. Right, Douglas 8/10 off the pace of Stefan Buckley with Hopkins 6/10 off the pace of Alan Zhu. We're going to be jumping down to that here very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. For that battle, that four-way battle. You see Asby, he is also 3/10 off the pace of James Marks. Tim Wilkins slotted himself into that P15 from the back row. Tom Castellani sends it super deep. That is super risky there, Tom. I don't know about that. That seemed a little way too aggressive in my opinion, even for the Honda driver. But that's just me personal. As we switch over now, oh, here we got a four-car freight train. Bentley, Audi, Porsche, McLaren, all the way through the bend. Buckley's catching the brakes. The Porsche trying to get the run out on that corner there. It doesn't seem like he really gets that big of a move there, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, I can't prime sub left by ass. I don't know. I'll have to see what I can do to help you there. Of course, all donations, if it was possible, is just for, it doesn't really have to happen. Now, but here we have Alan Zhu. He is working to try to get away from Bruce Hopkins. And we see Stefan Buckley still on the back of... Oh, actually, Stefan Buckley on the back of Alan Zhu. I apologize. And Louis up there. Now, he's going to be attacked by Bruce Hopkins. I apologize for what is going on here as we see the Audi and the Porsche driver. The track is greasy, but it is warming up as these drivers are making something happen. That Audi running a super wide line. Getting a very good, oh, and there goes the Porsche super wide. He's going to come back in. He's going to go wide. He knows if he goes, whoa, oh, that was close. That was stupid close as we see the Porsche and the McLaren down into the final corner. Here goes, oh, the Audi looking super strong. These drivers are switched back and like crazy. Oh, the Audi switches over. Oh, what an amazing battle. Now here it comes. Thank you for the follow, B1G Gaming. As we come through, this is a massive battle as we have P8, 9, 10, and 11 duking it out. Now here is Louis, ladies and gentlemen, coming through. He's looking to make something happen. He's going to cover the brakes a little bit. As the pit window is open with 49 minutes left to play for those that are new to GT Meister Racing. We have a 40-minute pit window. In 10 minutes, it closes with 10 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. As we have a yellow flag, that is going to be the 414 car of Mr. Artem on the back end. Curious to see what had happened there. Possibly getting a little squirrely or not. But Aiden Hashbrock, Andrew Jashke, Casey Bennett, Ricky Scott up to P4, Matt Artem up to P5. So the Ricky Scott fans are probably going crazy that his McLaren driver has brought himself up to P4 in this race. We're going to jump up forward because we have Mr. Cooper. He is ahead of Mr. Artem, who's right behind him here in this battle. Cannot see if Matt has any damage. It doesn't look like it. But right now we have McLaren, BMW, McLaren, Audi, McLaren, Audi, Porsche. We have them in the top 10 as the drivers work their way through. But we're going back to that battle that we were all talking about originally. And that is the one of Alan Zhu, Louis Buckley, and now Peter David and Tim Wilkins is in the fight. This is Louis going to try the inside. Is he? No, he's going to check up. He's going to run through turn 1. Oh, wow, this battle's going on, P1 champion. Let's go, Ricky Scott, P4. That's what I'm talking about, son. That's what I'm talking about, son. P4 for Ricky Scott. What a beautiful redemption race compared to his first 3 races here at GT Meister Racing. Lewis Bruce Hopkins about to get a beautiful run on Louis here in the sector 2. And but Peter David and Tim Wilkins. Oh, here comes Sue on the inside of Buckley. Can he make it stick on the inside? He's going to try to take a different approach and a different attack as they come into the bend. He's going to get Buckley. Now here comes Louis. Is Louis going to make it work and stick on the outside? Buckley's going to try to squeeze the door. He does. Catches super brakes late as they go around the bend. Can the Audi get the drive? The BMW gets a little bit of a drive, but he has to check up. Side by side, here comes Louis. Now we got the McLaren. The McLaren's getting a run on the outside of Louis. So now Louis is going to have to cover the inside. Down into the corner they go. Oh, super fast. As we see the Audi and the BMW and the McLaren all trail through. Louis getting attacked. He's going to power slide through that fast right-hand turn. As Carbonado says, let's go, Casey. As Casey is sitting P3. As the Audi is super early on the brakes, and the BMW is going to have to check up almost to a halt. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a massive train from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 building as they come through onto the front straight. As we see the BMW starting to make an attack on the Audi, he's going to go to the outside. The Audi's going to cover the inside. Here comes the BMW. Can he make the run on the Audi as the Audi catches a little bit of the black and yellow curve? But here comes the McLaren. He does get a run. He does get a beautiful run out of turn 3 as he comes through, and the McLaren now gets a. But now the McLaren in the back is now being attacked by the Aston Martin of Peter David, and the McLaren looks. Ooh, catches the brakes, gets that little beautiful lockup. This is an amazing battle as we see Bruce Hopkins is all over the back of that BMW as he makes his way out of the corners onto the back short chute. Here they go. I did tell the drivers that I am most likely probably going to lose my voice as they go through here. I do know Andrew Cooper made it a request for me to do a Steve Irwin style voice. So we will definitely see where I can pitch that in. But now here comes the BMW on the Audi as he's trying to make something happen. He's going to try to switch back down in the braking. Ooh, the Audi covered him super early, but now he's going to get the run on him. Here we go, side by side. Oh, he's going to get the Audi. Now we're going to switch over to Buckley. What can Buckley do as he gets a run? He gets a beautiful run. He's going to try the inside on the BMW. Down into the turn of the fast right. Side by side they go. Oh, the Audi's going to stick it. Here comes the McLaren of Hopkins. Oh, this is clanky. As Artem gets a drive-through. The P6, our winner of the Nuremberg, gets a drive-through. Oh, what a shame there for him. It's definitely going to be a hurtful race for him as they build through. Louis gets a run onto the main straight. Buckley on the inside. Hopkins in the rear. Here they go into the braking zone. Oh, Louis tries to shut the door. Buckley has to check out a little bit. But here goes Buckley. They're going to still go side by side based on the angle. Louis probably didn't see him where he was at as they come through. Looks like we lost a driver. I don't know who it is, possibly. As we come through here in this race, Ada Asbrock still leading with Andrew Jaschke P2, Casey Bennett P3, Ricky Scott P4. As it looks like Ricky Scott, Andrew Cooper all reeled in P3 of Casey. Now here comes Hopkins. Hopkins on the inside of Buckley. He's going to try to make something happen down into the hairpin. But now we have Peter David and Tim Wilkins as they come through the bend. They're all going to get a beautiful run on Buckley. Now Peter David is going to look on Buckley here on the outside. Oh, Peter David with the super late braking. As we see Brian Douglas, P19, he's going to do the pit early strategy here. At Misano, side by side, here goes the Aston Martin on the Audi. Haven't had to say Aston Martin in a super long time. With the Honda of Tim Wilkins looking on the outside door in. Here they go through the triple right-hand turn. Matt Artem is probably going to be serving his drive-through. but he can still salvage it. It's a drive-through. It's not like he actually has to pit for about 30 seconds or so. So he can still make something happen. And the Honda's trying to make it work and stick as he's coming up to the last corner. He's definitely, Tim Wilkins is having a beautiful race compared to what he has had in the first race, 3 races of the season, as the drivers are making their way through. That Aston Martin is looking super fast and strong. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the grip, the track is coming up. If you keep your eye on the top right, the track is warming up. The track is getting fast. You know what that means? Fast track, fast times. And here we go. The Aston Martin gets a beautiful run on the Audi. You can see him accelerate so much better compared to Stefan Buckley. That Audi is definitely struggling. While we see the Honda. Now there's Matt Artem. He is out of the pits. He's following Asmi. The original top racer he's going to get a run. Looks like he's got a Honda back there up with him. Looks like Tom Castellani, possibly. As we still see this battle develop. Now the question is, how is Matt Artem going to work around this whole group of cars? We definitely know he has the pace. It looks like Tom Castellani has moved up the ranks a little bit. There's Farmer in the back there. As we see the driver, oh, beautiful running and beautiful showing of these drivers as they go through the fast rights, making their way through here. We're going to switch over to Andrew Cooper here very shortly as that battle for P4 is starting to develop with Ricky Scott. Andrew Cooper is 5/10 off the pace as they come through. Doesn't look like Artem is really catching Tim Wilkins in front of him. Speak of the devil, I lied. There is Matt Artem, the faster Audi driver, right behind the Honda driver of Tim Wilkins. Oh, Matt utilizing so much more of that curbing than what Tim does in the Honda. But Matt's going to try to make it stick on the inside, but the question is Tim going to shut the door, and it looks like he does. Definitely know Matt needs to get through this grid. He needs to move up. Ooh, back in a little squirrely on the Audi. Looks on the inside, checks it out as he comes through the hairpin piece. He's got a sandwich of Hondas, and it looks like Tom Castellani is pushing. Here goes the Audi. Is Tom going to send it? Looks like he does. Matt covers it. Tom goes super wide. Tom is looking super aggressive around the outer bend of the corner. The Audi goes super wide. Now the Audi is going to look to get a run. He's looking on the inside, the Honda on the outside. Here they go through. Oh, as we see Stefan Buckley all over the back of the Peter dip. Here goes Tom Castellani on the inside of the double rights. Ooh, Tom's super aggressive on that brake as he falls behind. As he has to check himself. This is an amazing battle of the mid-pack. I want to switch up to the P4 of Ricky Scott, but the battle is developing super strong here between Asmi, Jamie Morrison, Artem, Tom Castellani, Tim Williams, Stefan Buckley, and Peter David. I am dying, ladies and gentlemen, as I announce this for all of you. Oh, Matt Artem taps the back end of Tim Wilkins, but he lets him through as he covers the brake. What a shame there. Just a little bit of a racing incident as everything develops and they go through. Now here comes Tom Castellani. He's looking at Matt Artem. And now we have Farmer as Artem covers the inside and closes the door. Tim Wilkins, now Farmer around the outside. Farmer looking super racing with the Honda as they go side by side. A little bit of a door tap here. Now here comes Farmer as Farmer makes his way past Tom Castellani. These drivers are racing, super racing. Now we're going to jump back and forward. Here comes Matt Artem on the inside of Tim Wilkins. He's going to make it stick as he goes through Farmer Castellani. As they race through here, I apologize. As we go through, Artem's made his way through. Now we're going to jump back up with Andrew Cooper as we see how this battle is developing. Now we have Ricky Scott, Casey. Ricky Scott up to P3. What happened to Casey Bennett? As we see this develop, Casey Bennett taps the back end and spins out Ricky Scott. Oh my God! Oh, what a shame there. Oh, Andrew Cooper gets past Ricky Scott. Now, Ricky Scott, he's going to have to wait for the whole entire grid possibly to go by. Nope, he was able to salvage it. He's got Chrysler York right in front of him. As they come through, Chrysler York is going to make the squeeze on the inside of Ricky Scott. The two McLaren drivers going side by side. Oh, what a shame there by Ricky Scott. Oh, that's definitely going to be having to check one in the announcer's tree. Oh, for the stewarding as Chrysler York's looking on the inside, possibly looking on the outside as the drivers come through. As Alejandro Martinez serves his pits, James Parks in his pit rotation strategy as these drivers are developing. A little surprise, everything is all quiet in the Twitch chat. I was hoping that Ricky Scott's crew was going to be up in arms with the torches for Ricky Scott, but Ricky Scott, even though he was P3, he's still P5, even though he's battling it out with Chrysler York. He's still looking super strong, still moving up the grid. We're going to jump back down here with Stefan Buckley. He's looking super racy with the other Audi driver up, Matt Artem. Still looking on the outside in Brian Douglas. Where is Brian Douglas? P19. They've already caught the P19 driver. Brian Douglas has pitted though. Okay, all right. As we see the Audi drivers, there's Peter David making his way through. Super late, the Audi drivers. Big B game. Never mind. Laugh out loud. You know, I think it's a commentator curse. I should have never looked up there. Should have never taken a look. Big B gaming. I should just stop. I should just not. And now Casey Bennett, he's going to serve his pit. So he's going to take the rotation now and see how this all plays out. Because now we are optimum track, sunny, and warm. As we start to see everyone develop here around the bend. We're going to see Brian Douglas letting him through. Artem squeezes it through on Buckley, but Buckley's going to get a run. He's going to catch the curve. Oh! Buckley taps it back into Artem. Oh! What a shame there for those two drivers. I know that probably wasn't intentional, but oh man, that's definitely going to be something that we're going to take a look at as we start to see Bruce Hopkins is making his way. You know what? Jamie Morrison on the back end of Tim Wilkins. I should probably not try to jump around and see other battles because it seems like every time I jump, something happens. As Brian Douglas is moving out of the way to allow the faster traffic through as he's in the back of the grid here. The question is Jamie Morrison trying to go around the outer side of the Brian Douglas, or is he going to try down the inside? Brian Douglas moves out of the way. He's going to allow those drivers to go through. Brian Douglas definitely trying to his strategy, make it stick, that early pit stop strategy may be able to help him motivate, maybe allow him to fall back a little bit more. As we see Asby's all over the back of Jamie Morrison, Mr. Azra, the guy from the Pacific Asian area, beautiful, wonderful driver of us. He was in our little bit of a mini development program. He is super strong here at GTMR, has developed an amazing racer. As now we see Chrysler York all over the back end of Ricky Scott. Ricky Scott is definitely going to have to try to cover the inside. Oh, he fakes him a little bit with a little slant to the left. Made Chrysler York check out there as he goes through. Alan Zhu is now being attacked by Louis and Bruce Hopkins. And I'm pretty sure the Ricky Scott fan club is saying, why are you back on him? He's going to only have an incident. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to jump over here with Alan Zhu and Louis with Bruce Hopkins as their three-wheeler. As they come through here, Porsche, BMW, McLaren, the battle insinuates for this P6 spot as we start to see the drivers race out as they go through. The BMW's trying to make something stick with that Porsche. With Bruce Hopkins, as we have seen Matt Artem, he's going to dive into the pits and try to recover his race the best that he can. What a shame there for him as a driver as they come through. Bruce Hopkins looking all over the back end of Louis. Oh, they break match. They hit the pads at the same time as they come into the triple right here. Alan Zhu's trying to cover the inside the best that he possibly can as they come around the bends here into the final corner of the final corner of this lap. And here comes the BMW. He's going to get a beautiful run, and he does on the Porsche. You know, he's going to switch over to the outside. Now to switch to the in. He's going to try to fake the Porsche, but the Porsche didn't want it. Here goes the BMW down on the inside. He's going to make it stick. Alan Zhu has no defense to it. But now here comes the McLaren of Bruce Hopkins. Will Bruce Hopkins get a beautiful run out of the hole compared to the Porsche? It looks like he possibly does down into the turn. Alan Zhu's going to have to check up, and Louis going to slot himself up to P6. Looks like a little bit of a tip, but it's okay as these drivers are battling it back out, and they're on their way. And Bruce Hopkins catches the curve and pops the McLaren, but he says, send it. And the McLaren side by side with the Porsche down into the hairpin. The McLaren goes super wide, but is that going to allow the Porsche to make his way through and get a better run? And it does. The Porsche now closes the door on Bruce Hopkins. The question is Bruce Hopkins going to try to set it into the corner? He doesn't. He tries to brake and stretch it out there for this P7 spot. We have 31 minutes left to go with a 21-minute pit window, everybody. It is 11 a.m. in-game as this race is battling out. The track is optimal. Everything is turning out as expected. As we see Alan Zhu trying to pull away as much as he can from the McLaren driver. As we see Ricky Scott, he probably heard from his friends, dive into the pits. Dive into the pits. Ricky Scott is in the pits in P5. Now, this will help him shuffle in, depending on where he comes out, into a better position for the battles. Now we're going to possibly switch over to Jamie Morrison's battle with Tim Wilkins as we wait to see what happens here with the Porsche and the McLaren. And it looks like Bruce is not going to make something stick. And here we go with Jamie Morrison and Tim Wilkins now as we start to see more drivers dive into the pits. We still see Aspie all over the back end of them. Buckley is in the pits. James Parks is in the pits. Oh no, James Parks has decided to choose to not continue. But that'll be an interesting one to say the least as we see as this develops. Jamie Morrison gets a beautiful run. Oh, Peter David messes up. Farmer's off the track. Now Farmer's going to get a little bit interesting. Curious of where Farmer's going to sit here as now they are all trying to reel themselves in here in this race. Casey Bennett is ahead of Matt Harton. Now Jamie Morrison's going to be all over with Peter David right there. The question is, who is being blue flag as they come through? And it looks like Farmer's possibly blue flag from Jamie Morrison as they come through the fence here. Oh, what an amazing battle this is turning out to be, ladies and gentlemen, as they come through. Jamie Morrison possibly looking on the inside to make something happen to get around Farmer. Farmer still has yet to win. With 20 minutes left to play. Question is, when he dove into the pits to go for the wet tire. And there's your race leader in the back. He has passed Kevin Tarrant, who is our 21 driver. Oh, Aspie loses the back end. Oh, Peter David. Oh, what a shame. Aspie loses it. Peter David had nowhere to go. Oh, what a shame there, ladies and gentlemen, as we switch over. As now the drivers, and Tim Wilkins loses the back end. That'll be an interesting one to say the least in the replay. Now we're seeing the grid starting to make their way through with the slower pack as everybody's trying to make it to see what happens here as the battle insinuates and continues. Tom Castellani, blue screen of death, followed by a game crash after rejoin. Oh, what a shame, Tom. You had an amazing battle as you were going through racing. Super tight, super racing with everybody. What a shame there. As we have Chrysler York in the pitch. Jamie Morrison's in the pit. Aspie's in the pit. Farmer has left the session as we see Andrew Jaschke is dove into the pit. So there was once 22, now there is 19 with 28 minutes left to play. So hopefully by the time as Andrew Cooper dives into the pits, now hopefully with all the pit rotations, we'll be able to kind of see everybody cycle through and figure everything out. Tom, I'm sorry to hear about that. I totally hope we're going to have a better race. You look super racing through the season. If you want, jump on into the comms booth. I'd love to interview you. Can Mr. Castellani as we follow along board with with everybody diving into the pits. Andrew Jaschke sitting P2 in the race. Now he's sitting P3 in the pit box. Peter David, he's going to have some damage here. Now this is going to help the Ricky Scott fan base because Peter David has damage. He's going to possibly want to serve that because we still have Tim Wilkins P8 in that Honda trying to recover as much as he can through this race. As we see Peter David is coming around the last bend. Is he going to serve his pit? He is. Ooh, he came in hot. Super hot. As we see the pit line is right there. Nobody's sadly possibly try to take that out. As we see Peter David is in the pits. The drivers that have yet to pit is your leader, Aiden Hasbrock, into the sector 2 as he's passed Azraf Asmi. Louis is sitting there P2. He has yet to pit. Alan Zeus sitting there P3 in the port. Him and Bruce Hopkins side by side they go. Bruce is going to try it around the outside. And I think Bruce is going to make this. Oh! Bruce gets spun! It looks like Bruce possibly was going to try to cut down on the inside and got spun. Oh, what a shame there in that event. Oh, that's definitely going to be one of those stewards events as we see how everything develops. Oh, what a shame there. As well as a shame to Farmer. Farmer had a wonderful start of the race. Definitely, as Dank Roman is now following. Welcome, thank you for the follow, Dank Roman. I'm surprised you weren't following already, Dank. I'm a little saddened that you weren't following us, but thank you again for following us. As we go through now, Louis is in the pits. Peter David is still in the pits. He's going through his pit. Bruce Hopkins, Kevin Teron still has the pit, and Tim Wilkins still has the pit. Question, how late is Tim Wilkins going to take his pit strategy out before he pits? Let's take a look. Does he have any damage? Doesn't look like he has a whole lot of damage on his car, so he's probably going a different route with 25 minutes left to play to stretch it out as late as possible. As now we see Andrew Jaschke slide himself up to P3 with Blue. Here comes the part where I'm able to save my voice a little bit with all the pit rotations and everybody cycling and being where they are to go. Let's see, Bruce Hopkins, how much damage does he have on his car? Does not look like he has a whole lot of damage on his car, but that spin definitely is not wasn't gonna help him all so much in the race. Keep an eye on that. But the driver that we haven't talked about, Mr. Kevin Teron, in the Porsche, slotting himself up to P5. He does have to pit for his pit rotation, so he will be cycling down a little bit in this race. But, as Louis gets a 30-second stop go in the pits. Louis gets a 30-second stop go. Oh, what a shame to Louis. Oh, what a shame. That's going to hurt his race right there. All that work, building it up, taking the fight. Oh, that's going to help Ricky Scott slide himself up a little bit further. The Ricky Scott fans out there definitely cheering it on. Now, where's Carbonado in the chat? We know Carbonado. Huge fan of Casey Bennett. P8, working his way up the grid. Right now, he's looking for a P4. Ricky Scott's looking for about a P5 here, depending on how all this plays out. As we see Bruce Hopkins dives into the pit, Kevin Teron stays out. Tim Wilkins, is he going to dive into the pits? Nope, he's going to stay out as well. We see Andrew Cooper. Where's Andrew Cooper? He is going through 1, 2, and 3 with Kevin Teron in front of him. Let's take a look at Jake Parks. He's just going to sit in the pits. Alan Zhu, he is coming through in the back of Sector 2. He's got the 69 car, Andrew Jaschke in the BMW on the tail of him. They've got 13 minutes left to play of the pit window and 23 minutes left of the race. Bruce Hopkins is sliding himself down to see Alejandro Martinez is moved out of the way for Kevin Teron as we see the Porsche driver working his way through Sector 3. What a beautiful complex, I have to say, Misano. Very technical, very, very wonderful. For those that are wondering, based on the GT Meister racing schedule, we had it set up to where you start with Spa, and you go to Tommy, and then you work your way into Spa, Donington, Nuremberg, Misano. So the track goes wider, technical, and it works its way in. As we see, Andrew Jaschke's going to look on the inside of Alan Zhu, but he's going to check up. Even though Alan Zhu does need to pit, this is for a race 4 position. Drivers should not be treated any different as they are racing as they come through. But the question is how late is Aiden Pembroke going to go before he has to pit? And how late is Alan Zhu going to go pit? Oh, super wide! Andrew Jaschke on the inside of Alan Zhu. He's going to make that stick. As we see Casey Bennett, we're going to drop down and give him a little screen time for Mr. Carbonado himself. As we see Casey Bennett leaving his rain light on, letting everybody know, hey, there's a possible braking situation about to happen. And I'm going to let this flash. As we see Casey Bennett working his way around the bends here of Sector 1 into Sector 2, all over the back of Tim Wilkins. Tim is having a remarkable race, even though he does have to pit. Casey Bennett looking like he wants to make a move. He's going to try it down on the inside. Tim's going to give him the space as they come through. Casey's going to hold his line. Tim goes super wide. He knows he's definitely not up for a fight. He's going to let him through. He's going to hold the door a little bit. Hey, but that's super respectful driving on the drivers here at GT Meister Racing with 11 minutes left to play. Keep an eye on this and see how this all plays out as we go through. As we hear stream is quite quiet from Tom, we're going to turn it up a bit and see if it changes anything. But hey, as this battle develops, this is definitely going to hurt Matt Artin. Well, actually, Petey Todd, he's going to get points. He's going to reel in a little bit of points and possibly up. The two Porsche drivers must be doing something right. They're just stretching their pit window out super far. I know Louis has to serve his 30-second stop so this is going to hurt him overall. So the question is whether or not he's going to serve it or is he going to keep going out. Ricky Scott, P8 for the Ricky Scott band. Definitely trying to make it work. He knows he's got Tim Wilkins in front of him. He's going to have to try to make his way around. Got 10 minutes on the play pit. 20 of the race. Oh, we have a yellow. Yellow on the 33 car of Louis. Oh, he missed the pit exit. Oh, what a shame by Louis. He missed the pit exit. He had to stop and reverse. Oh, that's gotta suck. Oh, what a shame there by Louis. As we now see Aiden Hasbrock, he's diving into the pits to serve his pit window strategy here, the leader of the race. Alan Zhu dives in the pits. Is Kevin Duran's going to dive into the pits? That is a big question. He's coming through Sector 3 on the back half here. It looks like 84, Ricky Scott and Tim Wilkins. Oh, Tim's going to let Ricky Scott through. As we go through here, is Tim going to dive in the pits? Tim is not going to dive in the pits. 9 minutes on the play. He's going to stretch this out to the last possible second to try to make up some time. Huge shout out to Tim Wilkins here. We're going to give this man a little screen time here. I mean, this guy is pushing it to the limit. 8 minutes. I'm not going to try to count this. But I have to say, he is definitely making something happen here. They're trying to stretch it out the best possible at Misano, trying to reel in as many points. Let's take a look here. Where is Tim sitting in the overall championship? Right now, he's sitting 28. He's had two really bad races, 26, 25 in the first two rounds. Didn't make it on the third round. So if he pulls out a good run, gets into that top 10 based on his strategy here with pit rotation, I mean, he's looking good right now. I mean, he's already looking for an amazing top 15. Maybe into the top 10 if he can stretch this out any longer. As that all develops and how that all plays out with Tim Wilkins here in this race. Now let's keep an eye to see who is battling overall. Does not look like we have anybody battling overall. Let's just jump over to Aiden Hasbrock as he's coming out within those super light avoid Aiden there in the sector 2 part of the fast lap here. We'll switch over to Aiden Hasbrock here shortly when he comes across the line. Here's your P2 racer, Andrew Jaskey, with Andrew P3 short shoot section. Let's see, we've got a battle with Alan Zhu. Looks like, no, Alan Zhu is not battling for position with Louis, but Alan Zhu is slotting himself up to P9. Alan Zhu is looking on the inside. Louis is kind of closing the door a little bit, and Stefan Buckley is reeling himself in on Alan Zhu with Louis in front of him. Louis is on the biggest recovery race of his life right now, sitting there in P16 as you see Alan Zhu around the outside. Now here comes Stefan Buckley on the inside. He's going to try to take advantage of Louis moving out of the way, and he does. He's going to slot right behind Alan Zhu as this battle now continues to develop. And look who is in the distance. Bruce Hopkins himself trying to reel in Alan Zhu. Alan Zhu in that top 9 finish. Stefan Buckley catches a lot of that curve, but he gets a beautiful run out of the hole. Audi driver trying to make something happen. Qualified really good in the top 10. Managed to fall back a little bit here in this race. Ricky Scott is 6/10 off the pace of Casey Bennett. Ricky Scott P5. It's possible he can get a P4 here at Misano. Hopefully he can manage to pull something off as they go through here in this race. Ricky Scott's looking super strong. We're going to jump aboard as now he's reached the back end of Casey Bennett, trying to do an amazing recovery drive in this McLaren down into the final couple quarters of this lap. Sector 2. Start of sector 2 as he comes through. He gets a beautiful run on them. We're going to jump along back on board with as Louis gets disqualified. Oh, probably because he never served his drive through his 30-second stop. Interesting. As we'll jump over, here goes Stefan Buckley on the inside of Alan Zhu into turns 1 and 2. He's going to get a beautiful run on the inside of the Porsche driver. Can the Audi driver stick side by side? Here we go. Oh, super late on the brakes. He's going to make it sticking around the bend. They go back to Ricky Scott. Here they go with Aspen. Now they're going to have some blue flags in front of them as they work their way through this grid. The Ricky Scott camp has been quiet. The Casey Bennett camp has been quiet. The question is who's going to jump as Tim Wilkins is serving the last of his pit strategy. Ricky Scott's going to try the outside of Casey Bennett. Casey Bennett's going to cover the inside. Ricky Scott gets a beautiful run into turn 2. Side by side they go. Casey Bennett covers the inside. He's going to say, oh, P4 for you. As we see, Ricky Scott is going to try to hold the outside line and around the bend. Casey Bennett covers the exit. As they come through, Casey Bennett overshoots the corner. Here comes Ricky Scott into P4 ahead of Casey Bennett. Casey Bennett has to cover the brakes on the back end of the half. Casey Bennett loses the back end. Casey Bennett loses it. Oh, Casey Bennett's car snapped. The question is, can Casey Bennett recover? Here comes Chrysler York. Chrysler York jumps Casey Bennett. Oh no, Chrysler York does not. Casey Bennett's going to have to run in damage. Ricky Scott up to P4, and the camp is proudly cheering magnificently. There has been no statements out of the camp of the Ricky Scott group. Ricky Scott's going to have to work through the blue flags. Alan Zhu is still all over the back end of Stefan Buckley for this P8 spot. But here comes Bruce Hopkins, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce is working his way up to Alan Zhu. He remembers what happened on the back straight. Time passes out. No! I know. The curve of death. The throttle of death. Here goes Alan Zhu on the luckily to hopefully allow himself to get him a little bit of a toe to pull away from the charging McLaren of Bruce Hopkins here in this green, yellow, and red McLaren as he's trying to make something happen as they come into this other area as well. And Hopkins just gets the brakes and the launch against Alan Zhu. Alan Zhu checks back up behind Bruce Hopkins. Don't know if that was a courtesy pass after what happened before or what happened, but there they go down into the double, triple right-hand turn. As they go through it right now in this race, the pit window is a minute 50 seconds left to play. Everybody's pit with 10 minutes left to go. The close spell here is the P9 to P10 spot of Alan Zhu. Tim Wilkins in that super long stretch managed to bring himself into P13, everybody. As we see the 84 car of Ricky Scott. Let's take a look at Ricky Scott here. He is making his way finally past Peter David into the triple right-hand turns with Azra Casby on the outside looking in to try to get Peter David here in this race. Peter David definitely trying to recover after having a little bit of connection issue. Dank Roma, phone and internet issues. Let's go, top four, Peter. Ricky Scott definitely looking super strong in this race. The question is, does he have what it takes to hold the spot? And Chrysler Thorne is now all over the back end of Casey Bennett for that top 5 position. With 10 minutes left to play, the McLaren driver has been looking super stable and super strong throughout this whole entire race. The season, Chrysler Thorne sitting 4th in the championship. He had a P3 at Spa, P7 at Donington, P5 at Nürburgring with 36 points. He is ahead of Casey by 5 points. He knows he wants to finish strong to jump the points gap between Casey Bennett. He knows Casey Bennett, if he finishes ahead of him, based on the point standing, this could possibly hurt him. Ladies and gentlemen, those that do not know, GT Meister Racing, we utilize MotoGP style points. The top 15 gets points throughout the whole entire race. So even if you finish a couple places ahead of him, you can jump that gap so much easier than a lot of the other people here, a lot of the other strategies here in this race. So drivers like Artem jumped out Artem sit P7, I apologize. Sit P7 if points to fall back a little bit as we go down into Hopkins trying to make big moves here towards the end of the race. Seems like the McLarens are super strong. We're about to have we have almost all of our McLarens in the top 10. Now Hopkins all over the back end of Buckley for that PA spot. This is just developing super strong. Here we go. Hopkins is taking a look. Can he get a run? Buckley catches a lot of the curve. He's going to overshoot those slow turns and as this Tom, if you want to join the commentator booth, we're more than happy to join the commentator booth as well. As we see Hopkins still all over the back end of Stefan Buckley, but also we have Meister all over the back end of Ricky Scott. Well, Meister got past Casey Bennett. I apologize. Meister now slides into that P5 spot. The thing is, will Casey Bennett take the battle back and get that spot back? The BMW driver had a little bit of an incident where he lost the back end. Some air damage comes. Casey Bennett still looking super strong. He's falling back a little bit. Hopkins looks like he's falling back a little bit. Possibly. At Misano. Hopkins still. All over the back end of Allen. Allen to switch over here. Here's Jamie Morrison, the BMW driver. First season here with second season with shout out to GT3 Racing. Definitely talking about how much this has evolved for him, how much he loves this. Shout out to late on the race and trying to catch up to Allen too in the turns 2 and 3. Nice to catch the race. As we have Tom Cassiani, the number 47 driver of the Honda, who is sadly screened during this race, has fallen out. He has joined us in the last 4 minutes. Welcome to the race. Give us a huge, let us know about how the race was. What your thoughts on the first 5 minutes of the race? Raining. A lot of the drivers were talking about pre-race about why the weather never changes. I tell them, hey, anything is possible. It's all the rain. Your thoughts on the first 5 minutes?
It was amazing. I love when there's a little bit of randomness and some rain thrown in the mix. So yeah, it was really exciting and seeing everyone try to tackle the wet conditions differently. Some people going cautious, some people just going flat out. Yeah, it was really enjoyable.
Well, that's awesome to hear. We saw a move from Andrew Cooper's camera view where you kind of disappeared a little bit, right? You appeared and you disappeared based on late braking. I'm pretty sure that kind of tossed you guys up for a little bit of a mixture due to the fact that you have that you're on dries, you qualified on dry, you were hoping for something to happen, and it just didn't seem like to really happen for you.
Yeah, I mean the track temperatures were dropping and that was affecting everyone in the same way. So the tires were getting colder and colder, and you don't know how wet it's going to be around the next corner. That was a bit of a weird one because it's flat into that section, and for some reason his car just started coming towards me. So I don't know if he got a bad exit, got a kick traction control or something, or that he wasn't flat through that section. But
And it looks like we
yeah,
have
there's
Bruce
so much
Hopkins
action.
that tapped the back end of Stefan Buckley, and that's going to allow Andrew Jassy. Hopkins waits for Buckley. Thank you, Mr. Hopkins, on a wonderful showcase of driving. Tapping the back. You never want to hit another driver on the track, but it's also super wonderful for a driver. If there's a big enough spread throughout the grid to stop and allow them through, as we see Jamie Morrison and Alan Zhu still battling it out. Bruce Hopkins and Buckley as time has tamed it down. Now this seems to be the closest battle we have is for the actual top 10 finish. Alan Zhu trying to showcase something super strong here at Misano, because if we take a look at his overall performance here at GTMR, he's been 13, 7, and 17, and 16. Has never clipped the top 10 here at GT Meister Racing. Now here comes Jamie Morrison on the inside. Will he outbreak Alan Zhu? He doesn't. He checks up right behind the Porsche driver. Now how overall, I mean, Misano's a super technical track here, Tom. Now, how is it as a, as a driver when you're battling out with everybody? You're getting into these weird blue flag, battle flag positions, like where you're trying to check up and catch everybody. Talk us through this, like what your view is, as we see Matt Artem goes off the track to some weird spot towards the back half. Looks like he possibly messed up the braking, trying to move out of the way for Aiden Hasbrock. But now this battle is developing for the P6 spot of Casey Bennett. And Matt is going to try the old flasher technique coming up into the final lap, but that's not going to work for Casey Bennett because this battle is for position. I apologize for cutting you off.
Yeah, no, because it's such a tight and technical track, I feel like it allows for a lot of back and forth. Because if you go slightly deep into one corner, you can go faster into the next one, and vice versa. So yeah, different drivers with different driving styles. It allows for a lot of different lines and just really good battles.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. It looked like Casey Bennett and Matt Artem had a little bit of an issue as Casey Bennett allowed Matt Artem through. Maybe that flash was like, hey, by the way, something happened. So that'll be definitely an interesting one that we'll have to let the newsletter see and play out here in this race. But we're going to jump back down with Jamie Morrison, as Jamie Morrison is still all over the back end of Alan Zhu as his final lap continues between the BMW and the Porsche driver here through Misano. Now, what are your thoughts? Are you expecting, as we go into the break weekend, we're going to start jumping into the second half of the season? Are you hoping for a little bit of a resurgence? I mean, you've looked strong. Misano seemed like you came out of a new element, like the car was right there for you. I mean, are you looking for a strong resurgence?
Yeah, hopefully. Today was a complete surprise. I think this is one of those tracks that people don't drive a whole lot, and we've seen a bit of a shake-up in the grid today, which is really, really nice. That'll be good for the point standings. There's a chance that I had some technical issues that I wasn't aware of earlier in the season, and if that's just placebo, then I don't mind, because pace is pace.
Yeah. Well, based on from what I can tell online, we have you finished 20th at Spa, 28th at Donington, 13th. Managed to grab 3 points at the Nürburgring, and you were looking to possibly have a good, strong top 10 finish here at Misano. So, I mean, it seems like the only way is you're going up, even though you had more of a technical issue with your computer. But I mean, the pace that you're going to bring on the next race is definitely going to be something else. And I believe, let me see, the next race will be Monza. So the Honda with the motor is definitely going to help you out here in this race. As we take a look to see who else is still around the track. Ricky Scott, as he's about to cross the line. I know the fan group is probably going crazy in the chat as Ricky Scott finishes P4. Chrysler York coming around the bend. He's going to have Tim Wilkins in tow as Chrysler York crosses the line with Tim Wilkins. Matt Artem managed to pull an amazing recovery race after getting a drive. He's going to finish P6 with Casey Bennett. P7, Peter David and Asby. These two drivers, did Asby beat out Peter David? He did finish out. Asby finished P14, ladies and gentlemen. So that's going to give him 2 points to move up in the championship standing. So we're going to wait it out, and we're going to get the podium finishers in here to have a little bit of an interview with them. And We'll allow Tom to join us in here, and there's your top 3 finisher: Aiden Hasbrock, Andrew Jaschke, and Andrew Cooper are your top 3 finishers here of this race. What an amazing battle all these drivers had as we wait to see everything develop here. Let's switch over. Let's get the pull up the cars for everybody as we get going here in this race. We're gonna wait to see. We're gonna get our P2 and P3 finisher here. Let's pull up their cars. Where is the McLaren? Here we go. As we have the silk cut car of number 2. Boom. Of our P1 finisher. Let's take a look. Let's get our P2 and P3 finisher in here. It's definitely going to be an interesting one to talk to. Let's grab Phantom Row, Andrew Jaschke. Boom. And that's our P2 finisher. We're going to grab our P3 finisher of Andrew Cooper. Boom. Now we have our P3 finisher. I just want to say huge shout out to all the viewers. Huge shout out to all the racers. As Dank Roma said, Ricky Scott, most improved, awesome race. Congratulations to Ricky Scott on his big push and big move forward as he moved up the grid. We have our top 3 finishers of the race. Huge shout out to Andrew Cooper, reeling his car into P3. He showcased a lot of his performance here in this race. Definitely had a wonderful time at Misano. Andrew Cooper, congratulations again and again on P3. Talk us through your race. J Postal 14, thank you for the follow. Talk us through your race. In the first 5 minutes of that rain, did that kind of toss you up a little bit, or, I mean, what were your thoughts throughout the whole entire race?
Well, luckily, since we do a bunch of fun, ridiculous stuff in Sim Lounge and all the other stuff on like Gran Turismo and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like I'm better in the rain on some instances, and I know how to work in the rain. And when it rained, like it really helped a lot for me. I gained most of my places. I think I pulled like 6 or 7 places out of the rain just because I know how to drive, and it just kicked the TC up from 3 to 6 and kicked up the ABS from 4 to 5, and I ran with it. Early braked because I knew that at some point the grip was just going to give way, and just hung on to it. And then once it stopped raining, just stayed on and just passed and took it easy. So it was I definitely didn't know that I was in third until I crossed the finish line, and I looked up. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't expect that.
Well, I mean, the race to prove it. I mean, a lot of Misano is definitely one of those tracks where it's either in it to win it or possibly to lose it, and you were there to win it. So, congratulations on the P3 finish.
Yeah,
Definitely showcase to your development so far in this championship standings. And based on from what I can tell so far in the championship standings, you are sitting P5, tied with Casey Bennett. So that P3 is going to definitely bump you up even closer to the P3 standings of Matt Artem, who had a little bit of a few issues here in this race, and you're most likely probably going to skip Chrysler York. That's P4, who's only ahead of you by 5 points. So that's definitely a strong finish for you.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm just kind of taking this whole, what is it? Just kind of taking this whole season, just kind of as it is. And if however I finish is pretty much however I finished, it's already a lot better than last season. I'll make sure that I won't get my days mixed up and end up missing Monza.
Yes, very much so. Congratulations on your P3 finisher. We're going to actually jump along board, and we're going to talk to our P2 finisher, who happens to be Andrew Jaschke in the BMW M4. Andrew Jaschke, congratulations on your P2 finish. You seem to scoop bypass Matt Artem right at the start of the race. Aiden Hasbrock, our P1 finisher, seemed to just pull away from you significantly, and it seemed like there's some issues behind you Were you at least a little worried when you started to make your way through traffic? It seemed like a lot of the top leaders through the race, and with all that rain, I mean, were you a little worried that you were going to possibly get caught off with a drive-through or maybe a stop and go through this whole entire race?
Kind of yes and no. It had a pretty good start. Tires were nice and warm, nice and toasty, so I was able to get the position right off the bat, and then try to close the gap with Hasselbrock ahead as well too. But yeah, I was kind of stationary probably for the first, I'd say 10, 15 minutes until rain happened. I did start to pull a little bit of a gap to Hasselbrock, probably for like a good 5, 10 minutes through the first stint once the rain happened. But other than that, yeah, he just kind of like pulled away as he normally does. But yeah, with drive-throughs and stuff, I wasn't too worried. I did have a little bit of issues just because the track was greasy and stuff, so I picked up 2 warnings, especially on, I believe it's turn 5 or turn 6, the left-hander going to basically the back straight in sector 2. But then I was like, pretty much kind of ran my own race, kind of put it in cruise control a little bit once it started to dry out. But yeah, it was just made things a little bit interesting with the greasy track and a little bit of wet tires on, or wet track on dry tires. But yeah, overall it's pretty fun. Happy to have P2 again.
Nice, and this is definitely going to help you with your championship standings to separate yourself from Matt Artem that's in P3. I mean, you were already 4 points ahead. This is going to allow you to separate the gap, and you never know with Aiden Asra. Sometimes he has good races, sometimes he has bad races, and with the break week coming along, and then you guys going into Monza in 2 weeks, I mean, this may be your time to rise and shine with the BMW M4, and you never know if Aiden Hasbrock will have issues. And with that being said, that's going to slot us into our P1 finisher, Aiden Hasbrock, who came into a Domini lead, who pretty much told me at the start of it, he goes, I'm feeling confident, and I need to showcase what I can do, because after the Nuremberg event where he kind of did not have the finishing shot that he wanted to, with the overall pace. Now, Aiden, I mean, we know you were out there out in front. I mean, overall, how do you think the race went? I mean,
It went pretty good.
it seemed like Matt Artem was kind of right there on the outside looking in for you. But yeah, how do you think it went?
It went pretty good. Had a good quality. The beginning was fun with the kind of dryish wet track.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Um, Went pretty good. I was quick. Had a little spin at the end. That's just because Bennett had to hit the brakes and I didn't know what he was doing. I just overcorrected a bit, but didn't really matter because I had a big enough lead. But yeah, it went good and glad to be back at the top.
As you separate your thing, I know Xander said he had hurt his hand at football practice, so you can go have a talk with him. But we also at GT Meister Racing, as we try to consider ourselves as a bit of a family, we wish him the best. We hope that he recovers well and rejoins us in 2 weeks at Monza. For those that would like to participate and join us, you can definitely check us out on Grid Finder at www.gridfinder.com, or you can check us out at simgrid.com. Just go to SimGrid, look us through, look at hosts. At the top bar, click host, and then roll through. If you scroll down, you'll find us. We are gtmeisterracing.com. Click to view the host, and you'll find the event. That'll also give you our Discord link. You can join us and race with us. We should have a few spots opening up, but we also take reserves to get everybody in here to race with us. We definitely take pride in having a lot of you guys join us and participate, and we have no problems coaching drivers as well. I want to take a huge shout out to all the viewers that came out to watch, especially the fan group of Ricky Scott of Big G Racing, Dank Roma, Super Milk Nasty, I think his name is, which is weird to say it on the stream. But no, I want to, and a Carbonado as well, a driver who is the son, I believe, of Casey Bennett, who wants to join us for next season. That's definitely an interesting one to have him join us and participate and everything else like that. So if you'd like to join us, definitely check us out on SimGrid or Grinfighter. My name is Exia. We will see you in 2 weeks. We'll most likely probably have a fun event next week to race. We probably won't stream it, but if we have enough that show up and want to participate, we will stream it for everybody and for the viewers to want to watch. But we will see you in 2 weeks at Monza as we kick off the second half of the season. My name's Exia. Thank you guys for watching and being a part of everything for us. Can't thank you guys more than enough. You guys have a wonderful Father's Day weekend and have a wonderful week break as well. We'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. Have a good night.